10 things realtors should know about septic systems. As long as people have lived in relatively concentrated populations, there has been a need for sanitary disposal of human wastes. Over 3,000 years ago, Indus Valley residents had bathrooms with water-flushed latrines that emptied into pits similar to modern septic tanks. In the United States, early sanitation consisted of outhouses with earthen pits. Today, many homes are connected to public sewers. Homes not connected to public systems usually have separate on-site treatment systems to treat and disperse household wastewater. This article gives a brief overview of how our modern septic systems work, and 10 things that realtors should know about them. How a septic system works. Septic systems are designed to hold, treat, and disperse household wastewater. Household wastewater contains bacteria, viruses, household chemicals, and excess nutrients such as nitrates. All of these contaminants can cause health-related illnesses if not treated properly. Septic systems have two major parts, a septic tank and a soil treatment area. Wastewater from toilets, sinks, showers, and other drains flows from the household sewer drain to an underground septic tank. Waste components then separate with the heavy solids settling on the bottom, forming a sludge layer. The grease and fatty solids float to the top, forming a scum layer. Normal bacterial action in the tank will partially decompose the solids. With normal use, solids will build up in the tank and must be removed periodically by a professional contractor. The relatively clear layer of wastewater in the middle is called effluent. Effluent flows from the septic tank outlet to the soil where most of the treatment process occurs. The soil treatment area, also known as the drain field or leach field, consists of gravel-filled trenches containing plastic chambers or perforated plastic pipe. This underground portion of the system accepts effluent from the septic tank outlet. Effluent moves through the pipes and seeps into surrounding soil for final treatment. Soil particles filter out small suspended solids and organic matter, while soil bacteria break down potentially harmful microorganisms and other organic components. Most viruses adhere to clay particles in the soil and eventually die. The now treated effluent continues its flow through the soil layers. A properly designed, installed, and maintained septic system should protect the environment and provide your clients many years of good service. 10. Things that realtors should know about septic systems. 1. Do you know the difference between a conventional and alternative system in Arizona? Arizona defines a conventional septic system as one that has a septic tank followed by a trench, bed, chamber, or seepage pit. An alternative system is anything else. 2. Did you know that using a cesspool as the property's wastewater system is illegal in Arizona? Cesspools take the property's wastewater and deliver it to a hole in the ground. These systems have been illegal since the 1970s. 3. Did you know that your septic system is supposed to treat and disperse the sewage from the property, not just make it go away? A well-functioning septic system will prepare the property's sewage so that the effluent is safe for people and the environment. 4. Did you know that your septic system works much like your body in the way it treats and disposes of wastes? If you shouldn't put it in your body, then you probably shouldn't send it down the drain to your septic system. You can actually make your septic system sick or kill it. 5. Did you know that a septic system is truly a system and not just a tank in the ground? The soil treatment portion of the system is critical to the life of the system. If it has been built on, covered over, including improper landscaping, or disturbed, it will not treat the sewage properly, and the system will probably not last long. 6. Did you know that septic systems have a limited lifespan? The usual design life of a septic system is 20 years. With careful management and care of the system, it can last much longer. But if the septic system has been overloaded or otherwise abused, then the system might not last its full design life. 7. Do you know 2 of the most common causes of failure for a septic system? 1. Using too much water, And 2. Not checking the septic tank for solids and scum. Using too much water can disrupt the septic tank settling and push solids into the soil treatment area, clogging the soil pores. A septic tank should be checked for the level of solids and scum in the tank. It is not necessary, and it's expensive, to pump a tank that does not have an excessive buildup of solids and scum layers, but it's equally as bad to not pump out a tank that is becoming too full. 8. Did you know that a malfunctioning septic system can pollute the groundwater and adversely affect the public health and that of the environment? 9. Did you know that septic tanks are not supposed to leak? Since 2005, wastewater tanks, including septic tanks, are supposed to be watertight. Many older tanks leak untreated sewage into the environment. This can be caused by many things such as cement deterioration, cracks caused by settling, being driven over, or rotting of fiberglass or steel tanks. When you look into a septic tank, it should have liquid right up to the outlet pipes. Effluent below the outlet pipe could mean that the septic tank needs to be inspected for leaks. 10. Did you know that all conventional and alternative septic systems are required to be inspected when a property is sold? The only exception is for systems that are new and have not been used yet. The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality, ADEQ, determined that as septic systems age on a property, without proper maintenance and treatment, the system could allow contaminated waste to seep into the water aquifers, which results in tainted water being provided by private or public wells. The natural process of a well-maintained septic system provides for nature to clean the water as it seeps down into the aquifers, thus providing clean water at the well. As a result, rules were written requiring the seller of property to inspect and certify the septic system prior to the transfer of title. The seller's obligation under the rules is to have the septic system inspected by a qualified septic inspector. In the inspection report that the inspector must complete, it states that the inspector certifies that the septic tank was pumped or otherwise serviced to address certain issues. Thus, when a seller orders a septic inspection before transferring title, that inspection most likely will include pumping or draining. The septic inspector will often include that cost in their fee to the seller. The current rules began on July 1, 2006 for all septic systems in the state, regardless of when they were installed. If a listing agent represented that a property was connected to a public sewer system and that information was incorrect, that could be considered a misrepresentation of a material fact, failure to disclose a material fact, or a combination of those charges. Nonetheless, that could be a costly and time-consuming challenge that the listing agent and broker would need to address, possible weeks, months, or even years after close of escrow. Here are some common mistakes, oversights. Check the MLS to see what other properties in that community show. That could be wrong because many communities have a combination of septic tanks and sewer connections. They were built that way because the sewer line was not available when the developer started building the subdivision, but was installed at some point while the community was still under construction. Check the water bill from the city to see if the owner is being charged for sewer. That could be wrong because all homeowners in a community where sewer is now available pay for the sewer connection, even if they are not connected. That keeps everyone's bill low, but could give a false feeling that the property is connected. Most cities charge a base sewer fee, the one everyone pays, connected or not, which is typically based on the size of the water meter serving the property. That fee typically does not change and is reasonably low. Several communities in the Phoenix metro area charge $3, $5 for the monthly base sewer fee. Then the city might charge a volumetric fee, which is based on some calculation of the water usage on the property. The theory is that a certain percentage of the water used will go into the sewer system. Since the water going into a house is metered, yet the wastewater leaving the house is not metered, the city will often use a calculation. That means if the owner's bill contains a volumetric charge or some other charge on top of the base fee, the property is probably connected to the sewer system. The house was built in 2004 on the outskirts of Phoenix. Many sellers and licensees assume that the property certainly has a sewer connection. That is an incorrect assumption, since the age, location, and builder of a property do not indicate if the sewer is connected or not. For example, in many properties built across the state in the early 2000s, builders bought, platted, and started construction on a subdivision before the city or town had the sewer line active to that area. The first phase, or for example, first 95 homes built, had septic tanks. While the builder installed the sewer lines throughout the community and to each lot, the first houses built had septic tanks. While the builder was starting phase 2, the city installed the sewer line in the street bordering the community. While putting in a few septic tanks in the early stages of phase 2, at some point, the builder started connecting the next houses built to the sewer line. Thus, we see a community, once completed, with a combination of some homes with septic tanks and some with sewer connections. To further complicate this issue, when the city made the sewer line active and the builder started building the next homes connected to the sewer, the current homeowners were given the opportunity to connect to the sewer. That meant digging in their front yard, switching to the sewer line, and properly abandoning the septic tank. Septic system must be inspected prior to close of escrow issue. Must the seller pump the septic tank prior to the sale of the property? Answer: no. Discussion: the on-site wastewater treatment facility addendum, and Arizona statute require the seller to have the septic tank inspected at seller's expense within 6 months prior to close of escrow. The addendum also requires that the tank be pumped at seller's expense unless I. a discharge authorization for the facility was issued and the facility was put into service within 12 months before the transfer of ownership inspection. My pumping or servicing is not necessary based on the manufacturer's written operation and maintenance instructions, or my no accumulation of floating or settled waste was present in the septic tank or wastewater container,